Cadence of Conflict Asia, September 9, 2019. The missile issues in North Korea have too much unknown about them to formulate a clear opinion. From reports, Kim has indeed kept his promise, though he has violated seemingly less significant UN sanctions. Japan is on alert. Trump doesn't seem to care. If we made a stack of American clothes made in China, then stacked what we don't know about the North Korean missile crisis, the stack of what we don't know about North Korean missiles would be higher. It's unsettling, but sometimes we just don't know. Carrie Lam's response to the 5 demands from protesters will not bode well in Hong Kong. She withdrew the controversial bill. The best illustration from Hong Kongers is a Band-Aid on a scratch after it turned gangrene. Too little, too late, is what most are saying. Expect riots and burning buildings in the weeks to come. Some Hong Kongers will indeed be satisfied with her speech, dare we say thrilled, but others will be enraged that she waited until after 3 months and a leaked recording. That recording included Lam's claim that she couldn't resign, and that she had 2 masters, one of them Beijing. This is contrary to the autonomy required by the contract allowing China to claim Hong Kong as its own. If true, that recording could return Hong Kong to Britain merely in court. The stakes are high. Beijing cannot allow the public to believe that the recording demonstrated any truth, and apparently Lam can't either. If that recording was inaccurate, as she said, then she wouldn't be so angry. Not only did she admit that the recording was real, it made her angry. Her objection to it is the recording's greatest notoriety. But Confucian, Beijing-minded Chinese don't understand that evidence speaks louder than spin. They only bake the cake they'll have to lay in. Withdrawing the bill will be seen by many as an attempt to counter evidence that Beijing interferes regularly, violating the Basic Law and the Sino-British Joint Declaration of 1984. But the evidence remains, and there are greater grievances. Lam's speech fails to address the protests' demand for her resignation, which is the very subject of the leaked recording, which came just before her sudden withdrawal of the bill. The protesters insist on her resignation and will continue to. When she said that she never considered resigning, she further incriminated herself by proving that Hong Kong does not have its required universal suffrage, and that she is part of the reason why. Some will stop protesting, but those who continue will do so with more veracity. Apart from withdrawing the bill, everything in Lam's video ignores and insults the protest demands, essentially telling the people what they ought to want. Telling people what they should want is widely accepted in Confucian society, but it mixes with the West like water with oil. Lam wants to investigate to find out why Hong Kong rejected what are essentially Confucian values. But there is no disturbance or interference or social trend to investigate. The conflict arose because the Confucian minds controlling Hong Kong, namely Lam and Beijing, are incapable of recognizing that Hong Kong already was westernized. The question now is whether William Wallace can defeat Mao Zedong. And that is the cadence of the conflict already seen in the Pacific.